It is hot. Luckily, there is a little bit of cloud cover, and there's a very, very light breeze. Just makes it a little bit more bearable. The next project on our list is we're gonna wash the anchor chain and the anchor a little bit, try to get the salt off. It hasn't been washed in, I don't know, 2 years. We thought now's our chance, so we're gonna dump it down onto this pallet, go find some water, scrub her up a little bit, get her ready to go, check it out, see if the galvanizing's good. Figured we could do that in the heat. It doesn't take a whole lot of physical energy, I hope.
Wow, it's hot out there. I'm going to make sure that the chain has not castled up into the chain locker. Move all this crap first. I've been hearing it fall, so I'm pretty sure it's where it needs to be. And, uh-oh, it is castled up. So, we'll ouch. Yeah, it does hurt your fingers. Normally, I have a hammer or something to help grab the chain. I didn't this time, so I had to use my hand. This is where the boat yoga comes in. Ouch. Oh, let's go see if Sam's got more water back. We're almost done. Well, that took about 16 buckets of water, but Sam got the chain all scrubbed, and it's probably cleaner than it's been in the 2 years that we've been out here. It's not shiny, but it's definitely cleaned up. Make it to where nothing's growing when we get back. Yeah, went well. Time for a drink. Very cold drink. I wish there was a swimming pool.
I had every intention of getting up early this morning, around 5 or 6, to get out here and get some work done before the sun came out and it got hot. Stayed up a little too late last night with some other cruiser friends. Here it is. I think it's almost 9 now. So much for an early start. And I think it's already 90 degrees out here. The sun is baking. I'm sitting here sweating. I haven't even done anything yet. Created my own misery for the day, my lack of ambition. I gotta get these solar panels off now that it's hot outside. Good times. Can barely get my hands in here to do this.
He got rid of his tool bags when we went on this trip, saying he would never be wearing tool bags again, but I'm thinking if he had tool bags, it might be a little bit easier right now. What do you think? I think so.
So this is kind of nice. I've never had the luxury of a ladder. Usually I'm doing this on the water and just hanging off the side of the boat. It's just so much easier.
The heat is just radiating off of them.
Solar is down. I'm just gonna tidy up the cables real quick, probably put the bimini back up because it's hot, we need the shade. I don't know if I had to take the solar down. But I'm looking around at these other boats and the solar panels are just dirty and sandy and dusty. They look trashed. I just felt better taking them down. Who knows how long we'll actually be gone. You know, you never know. We live on a small boat. But it doesn't mean we don't have some luxuries. We do have an instant hot water heater that is propane fired. The thing's been amazing. It's lasted 2 years so far. It's got minimal rust on it. I am going to take it off, put it inside the boat for the storage time. I don't think all the wind and the dust and the dust storms are going to be good for it. That's next on my list, is to remove this water heater and put it to bed. I want to make this hose for the shower head longer. It's only like, I don't know, 4 or 5 feet. I'm probably gonna add like a 10 or 15 foot one on this thing so we can move around a little bit better. I don't know how it survived. Look at what color it used to be. See the red? That's the clamp. That's the original color. This is what the sun's done to it. I mean, look at this thing. It's all like, but somehow it just keeps working. This may be the best $150 I think we spent on our boat. It's definitely up there. It's really nice to have running hot water on demand. So a lot of boats, you have to run the diesel engine to get hot water. It heats up this little water tank, and it's good for probably 24 hours, I think, at the most. You get like 6-7 gallons, which is pretty good. Man, having a propane fired instant water heater, it's been great. One more thing on our list to do is to measure our standing rigging. I probably should have done this while we were in the water. Just gone up the mast with the bosun chair, but I did not. We're on the hard, we're on some stands. I mentioned to someone I was probably gonna go up the mast and they thought it was a bad idea. They thought the boat would tip over. I'm not sure I believe that. In my mind, the weight's pretty centered over the mast, but you know, safety first, I guess. And I think the boatyard probably isn't against it, because I am in Mexico, but I don't think they'd be happy about it. I'm sure in the US with liability and stuff, it's probably completely illegal to do. I've been sitting here thinking, it's like, okay, I just need to get rough enough measurements to order my cables and do stay locks on the bottom so I can order them a couple feet long. And then I can take one off at a time, get the right length. How am I gonna do this? Well, and I realized I got halyards up there everywhere. I'm just gonna use the halyard line to measure this thing. I think I've got it figured out in my head how to do this and get it close. And now Jessica won't have to hoist my heavy butt up the mast. I'm sure she's happy about that.
Yes, I'm happy about that. It's really hot. I don't want to exercise.
I'm going to take our main halyard, which is pretty much at the top of the mast, and I'm going to stretch it to the very back and line it up with the pin on the backstay. Then I'm going to mark a spot on the mast so I have a reference point with tape. And then I'm gonna pull the halyard all the way out, and then I'll mark it again to my same reference point, and I will measure between the two pieces of tape. And that should give me a close enough measurement. I'm gonna use this point right here as my reference point. The key is to make sure you make it into a loop so you don't lose your halyard at the top. You gotta be able to pull it back down. All right, here we go. Then we're just gonna pull this up, top. And we should be able to just measure between these 2 points and give us a good enough length to order some cables. So we measured all of our shrouds and our forestay and our backstay, all that good stuff. And I'm comparing them with the numbers that we got off the internet from another guy who has the same boat, who's done the same thing. I'm sure they're all a little different, but some of them are pretty close. Like his forestay was 41 foot 9 inches. Ours measured 41 foot 6. I'm pretty confident about that. His backstay was 43 foot 4. Ours was 44. Pretty big discrepancy in the cap shrouds. His were 37 foot 10 and a half. Ours are 40 foot 9. It's a 3 foot difference. we're pretty confident in our measurements, so we're just gonna go with ours. We kind of have to. I just wanted something to compare to. And the lower shrouds, let's see, his are 21 foot 1/2 inch, ours were 22 foot 5 inch, so there's a 1.5 foot difference there as well. We're gonna take our measurements, I'm gonna add 2 or 3 feet to them when I go to order them. I'm gonna have them swage the top, then I'm gonna do stay locks on the bottom. And so when we come back to the boat, we'll be able to take one off at a time and get them the exact length we need them to be.
Here I am in my little tent. It's nice to be able to work in the shade. I'm gonna foil the furler. That's going to keep the dirt and the dust out. It's a trick that people have done down here over and over again, trying to keep this fine desert powder out of our lines and gears and systems. So that's what I get to do. I'm just glad it's in the shade. It is so much cooler. I think I'll just stay here for a while. This is not your industrial type foil from Costco. This is like paper thin foil. It's like wedding announcement foil. Hopefully, keep the dust out.
I was talking to another cruiser, I don't know, a few months back, and I mentioned we were going to cross the Pacific next spring. That was our goal. And he's like, oh, you better check the bolts on your chain plates. I was like, really? Why? He's like, because apparently he checked his after a few years, and his were halfway rusted through and weren't looking that great. So then, of course, now my brain goes, oh man, I better do this or something's going to break, crash the rig. So I figured I'd do a visual inspection of these bolts real quick, since they're pretty easy to get to. The chain plates are 10 years old or less, right around 10 years old. They look pretty good, but I'm gonna pull some of these bolts out. I'm actually gonna check all of them visually, see if there's any rust signs of rust or anything. Just do a good visual, just for some peace of mind. Seems fine.
He has to use the flashlight because our eyes are getting a little older.
You just call me old.
No, I called your eyes old.
I've checked that one out. I didn't see any signs of rust or any cracks. As long as I feel like the bolts look good, I'm not gonna do anything about them. I think we're good. I think I'm just gonna go through. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on each chain plate. There's 4 chain plates and one in the backstay, so there's 6. So I got 30 bolts to inspect. And then I'll also check the forestay out and see what's holding that thing together. Make sure it looks good. Lucky for me, the other chain plates are pretty easy to get to too. It's just behind our little drawers here. It's only taking me a few minutes. I'll pull these off as well. Take a quick peek at them. If there's any sort of rust or corrosion, I'll be concerned and I'll be getting new bolts. I'm looking for a leak. I'm not seeing any sign of corrosion on any of these bolts, so we're pretty happy about that. So the standing rigging is still hooked up, so I'm only pulling one off at a time. You know, trying to be a little bit careful. We don't need to lose our rig because I'm being dumb. Along with the bolts, I also checked out the tabbing on those knees, making sure the fiberglass was still attached, that the knees were still attached to the hull. Nothing seems loose. Everything seems okay with it. I don't see anything obvious anyways, and that's about the best I can do is look at obvious. Nothing looks questionable.
So I just emptied out the back lazarette so Sam can get in here to check the back stay. It's gotta go in here and then back up in here. there's going to be some boat yoga involved. With this heat, he should be really bendy. Are you bendy?
Me? No. God, no. I'm not bendy at all.
You should be in this heat.
I'm the most unflexible person in the world.
In this heat, you should be like Gumby.
The breeze feels pretty good.
It's warmer out, or cooler out here.
Maybe I'll sleep outside tonight. Well, I finished checking all the bolts on the chain plates. Everything seemed to work out just fine. There's no real corrosion. They seem really good. Pretty happy with them. Which is good. One less thing to check off my list.